Okay, sorry about the mess, everyone. Welcome to my first daily vlog video. It's going to be really interesting. It's not technically a vlog, it's more like a talk show. It's more like a morning briefing as you would normally have on the news. So let's just get straight to it. You can ask me questions anytime you want, and just pop it into the questions and comment section, sorry, and or you can actually follow me on Twitter and send me a message there. The Twitter handle is IamParityCheck, so that would be great if you do get join in. So let's get started. Okay, so let's see then. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to talk through what I've got currently on the Parity Check website, which is not the best website in the world, but it's quite informative if you like Formula 1 or if you like movies or even tech news. And I've got a bit of Star Trek info there for you as well. So a few weeks ago, Quentin Tarantino, I think it was a few months ago actually, Quentin Tarantino said that he could direct a better Star Trek movie. So the internet went a bit crazy, and it's actually looking like it might actually be a possibility, so that might be really interesting. There are people creating funny memes and what have you with like a Quentin Tarantino theme, which is interesting, and you can actually check those if you go onto the website or if you follow me on Instagram, and yeah, you can have a look at what they are. It's a shame I can't actually view these. Let's see if I can view these in a little window. There you go. So we've got Samuel L. Jackson there, and with the lovely saying in the Klingon language, Kapla, which means success or good luck. And then obviously Samuel L. Jackson's little piece. It is actually quite funny, and it's actually quite good how they got Michael Dorn's head and chin mixed together with Samuel L. Jackson's features on his face. There are some tonal differences which you can tell it's not the same picture, but otherwise I think that's a pretty decent Photoshop. Okay, so that was this morning. Some Formula 1 news here. Okay. Sorry if you hear me sniffling. As it's winter, I do suffer quite a bit from having a cold and just hay fever symptoms, which is really weird because I pretty much have these symptoms all year round. If you listen to the audio on any of my videos, you'll see that I'm either sniffing or I sound a bit off or ill, and that's the reason why, because I suffer from it all year round. So apologies for that. Okay, so Mark Webber inducted into Australian Motorsport Hall of Fame. That's good. There's not that many Australian racing drivers that have made it to Formula One, as far as I know. So it's good that he's in there. He is pretty good as a racing driver. That's this Kaleidoscope. Which I'm not. What is this movie? Kaleidoscope. Shall we have a look? Let's have a look. Open like a new tab. Okay, so Toby Jones and Anne Reid play a warring son and mother in Rupert Jones's dark psychological thriller. Interesting. Never heard of that film before. Oops. Hollow in the Land. Nope. Vettel wants to be wiser in future. Yeah, he needs to be wiser in future. I never want to watch this Ferdinand movie. I don't think it's going to be any good. The worst bit is it's got John Cena in it. He's obviously doing a voice, but I guess his acting abilities are getting better. But I'm not really a big fan of wrestlers turned movie stars. I just don't think it works really well. Obviously it's worked well for The Rock or Dwayne Johnson, but it didn't work so well for Hulk Hogan. It was just his star power that was actually pulling in the viewers. What's this? Pull request pulls in 2.3 million seed round led by Google's Gradient Ventures. Okay. So is this the initial seed round? So what do pull requests do? Let's have a look. Interesting. So what does pull request actually do? I still don't know. It's a Y Combinator. What? Right, okay. But what do they do? Okay, so they review code. Well, that's interesting. I wonder if they steal code as well. Okay, let's forget that. Let's see. There's quite a few good articles at the moment. Okay, so Ecofin or Ecofin ECOFIN is Slack for financial professionals. Now I can see this getting lost. I don't think Slack works very well in terms of teamwork. It's a messaging platform and that's it. And I don't know why people are moving away from having emails and what have you. You know, you could easily install Skype. I understand there's other features involved, but I just don't know. I think you still get lost in the conversation. There needs to be something else that actually allows teams to work together, have everything in a central place, have all the documents in the central place, and they're accessible over the cloud. Okay guys, so I've just taken a look out the window and it's actually snowing. How cool is that? The first signs of snow are on the 8th of December 2017. I would have thought this year it would have snowed towards the end of December, but I guess not. Okay, let's check out the regular news. So for that, we'll go to the BBC website. We'll say okay, and hey, this is a different layout. Oh, it's not. Pardon me. There you go. That's better. Ooh, here we go. So, snow, ice and travel chaos warning after Storm Caroline. Snow has fallen across many parts of the UK overnight, with forecasters warning that road, rail and air travel may be disrupted. Interesting. Oh, excuse me, sorry. That's my alarm on my phone to say wake up and go to work. It looks pretty bad. It's actually quite deep outside my house at the moment. Exodus expands as California fires grow. What's happening here? Oh my word. California wildfires. Nearly 200,000 flee in new blaze. What's caused this? Some 5,000 firefighters have been battling four brush fires that have destroyed hundreds of homes in the south of the state. The number of evacuees nearly quadrupled on Thursday as a fifth fire broke out. north of San Diego. What? Okay, let's see. How did it start? Oh, you gotta save the paintings. Has there been a drought or something? It doesn't actually say. Okay, so wow, this is how it's spread out. That's some crazy stuff. So all this area is active. Wow. Oh, Rupert Murdoch's alright. An estate and vineyard owned by Rupert Murdoch also suffered some damage. The media mogul said in a statement, "We believe the winery and the house are still intact." Well, that's alright. Okay. Well, that's not good news. So if there's anybody in California, I'm really sorry that this is happening to you. I hope you guys are safe, and just make sure you look after yourselves and your families and everybody around you, and hopefully this will subside very soon. Okay, so let's go down. Seven days quiz. What special club have these pizzas now joined? I don't know. Shall I find out? Let's find out. It's the weekly news quiz. Have you ever been paying attention to what's been going on in the world over the past 7 days? No, actually, I don't really keep up with the news anymore. If I hear something, I hear something, or if a colleague's mentioned it, or if it's just come over the Google apps, I've actually seen it. Otherwise, I don't really watch much breakfast TV anymore. I tend to watch less TV now, to be honest with you. It's more YouTube, and it's more content that I would want to watch myself, so stuff on Netflix and things like that. And actually this morning I watched Series 2, Episode 1 of The Grand Tour with Jeremy Clarkson, James May and Richard Hammond, and it was actually quite a good episode. Let me just bring it up on here. Oh gosh, what is it? Hammer. The Grand Tour. Okay, so here it is, and the actual show was pretty good. They had one main feature, and they had obviously all the other little bits and pieces. They've got a new track. I don't think it's actually going on tour anymore, because they said that they were actually permanently situated at Jeremy Clarkson's house, or on his grounds at least, and there's an actual new track near, well, there, half of it's a dirt track, half of it's tarmac, and the actual video that they showed was them driving in Switzerland, and it's also where Richard Hammond actually had his accident, and they actually showed some good chunks of the accident. They actually blacked it out, but you could actually hear him struggling and like making noises as he was getting hurt. You saw like a very quick clip of him losing control around the corner, and then it just went black, and then the next shot you see is just the car in flames, and it was actually flaming for the next 5 days apparently. So what was happening was the car that he was in was a fully electric supercar, and once one of the battery cells got damaged, it would obviously create a fire. But because there's 8,000 or 80,000, I think it said 18,000, well, whatever the figure was on the amount of cells on the actual battery pack, they all started going off one by one. So that was a very dangerous situation for him. I'm surprised he got out without getting burnt or anything like that. He's actually fine. They made a really good joke about it, and I think they did it very tastefully, and it's good that they did show it. They did that last time as well, when the last time he had an accident, and I think it's a good way to show people that although they are having fun, you know, cars and racing around in cars is quite a dangerous thing, and it just brings it home to everyone, I think. And yeah, I think they did it very tastefully. So just check out the series if you've got Amazon Prime. Yeah, if you don't have Amazon Prime, I'm not sure how else you can watch it. Is there any other services that it will accept? No, it's all on Prime, isn't it? Yeah. The changes worked well. Yeah, they did actually work well. So instead of killing off guests before they could interview them, they actually did do an interview with David Hasselhoff and Ricky Wilson. But I would have preferred just as like a short interview with David Hasselhoff, because I think he could tell you a lot. Although he didn't drive round in fast cars and what have you, David Hasselhoff obviously was in Knight Rider, which is one of the most popular TV shows to come out of the 1980s. Everyone knows it, everyone remembers it. It had an iconic car as the centerpiece, and I thought he was just shoved off to the side. I think Ricky Wilson was asked more questions than David Hasselhoff was, and it did feel like he was just sidelined, and yeah, I didn't like that. Maybe you can invite him over again. But yeah, we'll see. And they did actually do some type of news, which was really good. Excuse me. Let's see what other people are saying. Absolutely great start to the series. Back out of screens. Okay. Okay, so I'll let you guys look at that in your own time. And what's this? Shall we do this quiz? Let's do this quiz. The Neapolitan art of pizza twirling has joined a list of intangible heritage. What? Okay, so what's the question? What traditional art form has never made the list? Morris dancing, yoga, flamenco. I would probably say flamenco. Ooh, it's Morris dancing. Next. Plans to introduce a frowning pile of poo emoji has been removed from the latest proposal by the group in charge of creating the symbols. The Unicode Consortium creates a central list of emojis so that they show up properly on different devices. Which of these are also not being considered as emojis for 2018? A mango, cupcake and bagel, an abacus, microbe and DNA, an apricot, cake stand and test tube. Isn't there a cake stand already? I would say an apricot, cake stand and test tube. Next. Okay. Person of the year. Okay. Time magazine has named the Silence Breakers, women who spoke out against sexual abuse and harassment, as its Person of the Year. The magazine's tradition began in 1927. Whoa. As Man of the Year recognizes the person who, for better or for worse, has done the most to influence the events of the year. Who is the only person to have received the honor 3 times? I would say Mikhail Gorbachev. I can remember him on the magazine. Ooh. Interesting. What did... Okay. Which film character did Paulo Fonseca, the coach of Ukrainian football club, I can't even pronounce this, what's that, Shakhtar Donetsk, dress up as after his team beat Manchester City to reach the last 16 of the Champions League? What? Gosh. So that kind of, his name sounds very Spanish, so I would probably say Zorro. And Tarzan doesn't actually wear much, so it wouldn't be him. It could be the Lone Ranger, but then that's not very, I don't know. I would say Zorro. The Ukrainian side of him. Okay. Let's go next. A professor in Taiwan claims to have witnessed the longest ever visible rainbow, clocking in at nearly 9 hours. What? He plans to submit it for a world record. Which country holds the... Hey? I reckon it's Australia. Oh, it's the UK. Christine Keeler, the model embroiled in the Profumo affair that rocked 60s Britain, has died. Her name hit the front pages of newspapers in 1963, but which of the following UK news events did not happen in the same year? Children's fashion doll Cindy was launched. The Forth Road Bridge opened. The Great Train Robbery. Now, the Great Train Robbery, wasn't that... That wasn't in the 60s, was it? It was in the 50s. Let's go Great Train Robbery. I know the Cindy doll was released in the 60s. Ah, okay. So what's this got to do in news? Has it been in the news recently? The Queen has officially welcomed the UK's new aircraft carrier, HMS Queen Elizabeth, this week. Oh gosh, she named it after herself. It's the Royal Navy's largest ever surface warship. How much does it weigh? I would go for middle ground. No, I'm not really good at this, am I? And that was it. I'm a cadet. Oh, that pants. That's not good at all. Okay. So let's go back on that one. Let's check if there's any questions that anybody wants to ask. Okay, we don't have any questions just yet. So let's carry on looking at the news. Now, as you may have noticed, I just skim through the news and just look at what I want to look at. And there are things that I wouldn't necessarily think that I would be interested in reading, but I sometimes do. What's this? Hatton versus Mayweather 10 years on. Oh, forget that. No, thank you. Let's see what's happening in England. Anorexic teen failed by every NHS body. Really? What's happened there then? Nicholas Hart says his daughter Avril's death was avoidable. A teenager who died weeks after leaving for university was failed by every NHS organisation that should have cared for her, a review has found. Avril Hart of Colchester died of a heart attack caused by anorexia in Norwich in 2012. The Parliamentary and Health Service Ombudsman has found her death could and should have been prevented. Yeah, of course, if she ate. The NHS services involved say changes have been made, with one saying it accepted the report's findings. Okay, so only one of them's accepted the report's findings. Okay, so Miss Hart, the youngest of three sisters, became unwell after her A-levels at Colchester Royal Grammar School and spent 10 months as an inpatient in Addenbrooke's Hospital in Cambridge. She was then discharged to study creative writing at the University of East Anglia. Okay, so she spent 10 months in hospital. Then she was discharged. So Miss Hart was found collapsed at the university in December 2012 and taken to the Norfolk and Norwich Hospital by ambulance, but saw no specialist eating disorders clinician for 3 days after admission, by which time her condition had deteriorated further. Interesting. Overnight, her blood sugar level fell to very low levels, but she did not receive appropriate treatment for this and became unconscious, suffering brain damage. She died 3 days later. What the hell? Okay, so at first I thought to myself, okay, so she didn't eat. Why didn't the parents feed her? And then you come to this detail here. Where's it gone? You come to this detail here, which expands on it, and then this bit here. So that could have been avoidable, because I know for a fact when you do go into hospital, they have to check on you every so often, and the paperwork needs to be filled in every so often, so they know what's going on with the patient. So yeah, it does seem like the NHS has failed her. Oh my god. Look at this picture. That's not good. That's really, really bad. So what are they going to do about it? Could it just be the issue at that hospital, not just the whole NHS? I don't know, it didn't say what they are planning to do about it. Okay, I might look into that. That's upsetting. You think you could trust the emergency services and the NHS when it comes to your health? That's pretty bad. Predictive text app adds Cornish language. What? Cornwall has its own language? That can't be right. I'd want to play the video, but I'm worried that I might get a copyright strike, so I'm going to skip over that one for now. Coventry named UK City of Culture 2021. So what? It's not 2021, it's still 2017, so how can they say that? So also, okay, so they're passing it over from Hull. So what are they doing to the industry in Coventry to spruce it up or make it better? Alright, so this is what makes you a city of culture. Belgrade Theatre, Coventry Cathedral. So a theatre, a cathedral, another theatre, and a museum and art gallery. Most cities have those, and all within the same kind of space. I've been to Coventry, I've worked in Coventry as well, and I don't think it's amazing. There's a lot of history there in certain places, but All I've ever found is loads of roundabouts. Okay. Primark and Sports Direct underpaid staff. Of course, they always underpay staff. Sports Direct definitely does. Let's see. Primark had to repay £231,973.12, mainly due to charging staff for uniforms. Whoa! You're charging staff for uniforms. That's compulsory for them to wear, that they don't need to actually buy. They should be supplied. If you want them to wear the uniform, you supply the uniform. That's crazy. Excuse me. Okay, so Primark and Sports Direct have had to pay thousands of pounds back to staff for paying them below the minimum wage. Okay, the retailers had to repay. Okay, I've kind of read that detail already. This is what I don't like about the BBC website. So you've got main headline, catches your attention, right? Then the next thing you read is this here, whatever's under the main image. Then you read this, which is the same thing as either this one or the main header, and it's just repeating the information, and then it'll do it here again before it gets into the nitty-gritty, and it does get annoying sometimes, especially with the Formula One site that they have. It's just really crazy. So let's just go back to this article before I get really annoyed. Sports Direct and 2 staff agencies it used had to pay back a total of 1.1 million to their workers. All firms said their issues were now rectified. Wow, that staffing agency must now be bankrupt. They just work off little margins. It's just crazy. This is all the retailer's fault. So Sports Direct and Primark, you know that they pay people less. They try to drive the amount of money that they have to pay for the staff member, and it's crazy. And now what they've done in turn, for them trying to get the cheapest price, they've actually had to pay out what they should have paid anyway, and they must have made at least one of those 2 staffing agencies bankrupt. It's shocking. Ooh, 150,000 UK workers to get a pay rise. Am I in that list? I hope I am. Sports Direct payroll agency. Okay. A spokesperson for Primark, which is owned by Associated British Foods, said its uniform policy changed last year and that it had reviewed its procedures in order to avoid this situation reoccurring. They said the average amount paid to the almost 10,000 staff affected was £23.75. Okay. See, I don't like this article. It goes from talking about Primark and Sports Direct, then Primark again, then Sports Direct. Either split it up or talk about them jointly. Wow, I've just read this bit. An investigation by HM Revenue and Customs last year found that some workers at the retailer's main distribution centre in Shirebrook, Derbyshire, had been docked a quarter of an hour's pay if they clocked on 1 minute late. So if you start work 1 minute late, a quarter of your hourly pay is gone. That is messed up. Half the time you have to swipe through and what have you. That can take a minute. What if there's a few of you starting your shift at that time? You know, somebody's gonna get docked. That's just mental. You gotta have some kind of leeway. If you expect, say, your staff member to come at 10 o'clock on the dot, then you expect them to leave at 10 o'clock on the dot or whatever time they've normally finished work. So you can't ask them to stay back. So I guess if they want to play it that way, the staff members can play that way back. That's crazy. Oh, there you go. So they also had to queue for an average of 11 minutes for security checks after their shifts had finished. That is crazy. So you're wasting 11 minutes of your own time trying to get out of work so you can prove that you haven't stolen anything. That's just messed up. That is just pure shit. Pardon my French. Okay, I don't want to read this now because this is going to get really annoying. What? 16 to 17 year olds get paid £4.05 an hour? What the hell's going on? See, this is what's wrong with the world. This is what they're paying. Okay, so say you have a normal 8-hour day. You go to work. If you are late 1 minute clocking into the system, they'll dock you a quarter of this amount if you're a 16 to 17 year old. And then when you need to go for lunch, the average price of a sandwich, a packet of crisps, or a chocolate bar and a drink goes just past the £3 mark to sometimes even £5 to £6. Okay, so they've basically already pretty much lost an hour and a bit from their pay before they even get to go home. That's crazy. And these are the bloody companies that have tax havens all over the world, where they don't have to pay tax in the countries that they are trading in. And it's just annoying. It really pisses me off. Pardon my French again. I didn't want to swear on this stream, but I guess it's I guess it's unavoidable, to be fair, when you read stuff like this. I'm going to skip that now. Surge in violence at Wormwood Scrubs. Ooh, let's see what's happened here. Inmates are going crazy. So if you guys don't know, Wormwood Scrubs is a famous or famous-ish prison in the UK. Chronic staff shortages, food running out, and a surge in violence were among the findings of a critical prison report into Wormwood Scrubs. Okay. Right, I'm gonna skip that one too. Man cements microwave to his head. What? Pardon me. Man cements microwave to head in Wolverhampton. Crews took an hour to free the man. Okay. An internet prankster. Okay, here we go. Had to be freed by firefighters after cementing his head inside a microwave oven. Whoa. See, that's the detail that was missing here. Man cements microwave to head is incorrect. It's man puts his head in a microwave and cements it. Whoa, how did he breathe? Okay, let's read on. West Midlands Fire Service said it took an hour to free the man after they were called to a house in Ford Houses, Wolverhampton. Friends had managed to feed an air tube into the 22-year-old's mouth to help him breathe, the service said. Whoa, how the hell? Watch Commander Sean Dakin said the man could quite easily have suffocated or have been seriously injured. Here we go. So he and a group of friends had mixed several bags of polyfiller, which they then poured around his head, which was protected by a plastic bag in the microwave. Okay. The oven was being used as a mold and wasn't plugged in. The mixture quickly set hard, and by the time we were called, they'd already been trying to free him for an hour and a half. Oh my god. Crews from the technical rescue team helped with taking the microwave apart. He added, it took nearly an hour to free him. Okay, all of the group involved were very apologetic, but this was clearly a call out which might have prevented us from helping someone else in a genuine accidental need. Well, he was still in need. He could have died. Obviously it was a prank, but still, at least you know now how to deal with these kind of people. What shall I search to? Okay, let's see. Let's copy. Okay, there's no video of it. Oh, there's video. You reckon I can play it?
Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. I've heard of a lot of people doing some silly things on YouTube, but this has got to be one of the top ones. Man cements microwave to head in Wolverhampton, England. A YouTube joker decided...
Okay. Thanks for that, Mary. Unfortunately, I thought it was the actual video of the man, but it wasn't, so I'm going to see if Mary would be kind enough not to give me a copyright strike on that, because that will not be good. Let's see. Oh my god, mum with baby not breathing, asked to wait. Oh, poor baby, what's wrong with him or her? A mother who turned up at a hospital with her 7-week-old baby who had stopped breathing says she was told to sit down and wait by a receptionist. Clearly the receptionist doesn't know anything about how to talk to people, especially in that kind of situation, and especially with such a critical situation as well. So I don't know, NHS need more training? What the hell? Those babies are tiny. Okay guys, so I think I'm going to start wrapping it up here for today. I did want to actually do the news for an hour, but I think it should be I think this should be more than adequate, really. Half an hour, 45 minutes. It's nearly an hour now actually. But I didn't actually get through a lot of what I wanted to say, so maybe I should extend the videos to 2 hours or maybe 3 hours. But if you have any questions, you're always welcome to put them all across to me, and if there is anything that I can help you with in terms of like advice and support on IT related stuff, video photography, I'm here. You can check out my channel anytime you want, and thank you for watching.